Yeah. Michael wants to know, he's heard so much about it, he wants to know what.
Somebody keeps telling stories on you, so I want to see where it really was.
It was somewhere right in, if we got the field.
I know, I got to go up there because they don't have one that far back online. I'm going to have to go up
trying to remember where he kicked the field goal.
But up here, we're just going to chat for a little bit, let y'all tell some stories and things like that. Remember the great things that happened. The college has a plan. We're a little bit behind due to COVID and some other projects falling in and getting some architects. But we are working on a plan to honor this field that y'all played on, where we're standing now. We affectionately call it the wall project because we've heard so much about the wall that was back here. So that if you touched the wall, that was the good thing because you scored. So we're working on a project that will honor the field, let folks know who, this younger generation who don't know what this spot of land was, know that it was the field for so long, and it'll honor the teams, the players, the coaches, both high school and junior college that played here. We'll be able to have something to remember the wall. We have some ideas about trying to help use this space to help outdoor teaching and student opportunities as well for our current students. One part of the project, some of you may know, we have a walk of memories way over there where you buy a brick to honor someone or memorialize someone, and we're going to bring those bricks over here, and this sidewalk these guys are standing on going up to the Crane Pavilion, that'll be our walk of memories and tie into the memories of the field. So again, very early planning stages. We hope to, in November, get that meeting with the architects that I've been waiting on for about 18 months. So more information to come out about that in the future, but we hope it's something that y'all will be proud of and y'all will want to be a part of, and we'll get that information out. I've talked plenty. Asked Coach Childs to say a few words to this group. Anything he wants to share?
Thank you, Michael. First thing I'd like to say is how much I appreciate, and know all of y'all appreciate, Michael Luston and his staff and Dr. Allen for inviting us to be back here on the 63 reunion and have the opportunity to come back and walk on the field and have so many good memories to all of us associated with this team in 71 and some 72 members here too. I also want to recognize Janetti. She is here as one of the cheerleaders. Where is she back here? Back in the back there. One of our cheerleaders, and cheerleaders were a real important part of our team. Band members were a real important part of the team back in 71. But I want to remember those who are not with us here today physically, but they're here with us spiritually. I'll start off naming a couple, and I'd like for y'all to go ahead and name some others, and then we'll pause for just a moment of silence, and then I want to make just a few more remarks to you. I'll start off naming Coach David Miller, Coach Doc Wall, and I'd like to name Forrest Sugg. Forrest was a valuable member of our football team. He played left guard, and he kept Larry out of the hospital many times. When he'd do that blocking, he could get us under people and really keep them off of them. So some of y'all will name some others. I can name them, but Lim's got a list. But I want to make sure we don't miss anybody. Lim, go ahead.
All right, there are 11 that we've lost. They're not in order how they passed on, but this is the list. We got Tim Bradley from Aberdeen. We got Lee Gardner from Shannon, Eddie Hall Holden from Amory. We got Donnie Riddle from Amory, Forrest Suggs, Amory, John Willis, Fairview. We got Terry Ferris from Manatee, Ike Holman from Hamilton, Ken Dye from Nettleton, Ernest Cummins from Amory, and J.T. King from Houston. So that's 11. We've lost since we.
Are there any others there that any of you think of?
Gary Hunter, Morgan, South Toa.
John Morgan?
Yeah.
John
Morgan.
Somebody else that y'all know we might have missed. When did he pass?
In the last 4 months.
Oh, did he?
Hey, Betty Haynes was cheerleader.
Debbie Haynes.
No, it's Betty Haynes. Really did too.
Both of
Really
them.
did.
She wouldn't.
Betty Haynes and Betty Haynes, both died. So,
Anyway.
both of them cheerleaders.
50 years passed pretty quick. Pretty quick.
Well,
I'm glad y'all all here, really.
Renee was a cheerleader in the 71 team, and she was also our secretary in the football office. She did a really good job keeping up with Coach Miller and Coach Wall and myself and trying to do it to keep us straight.
Oh, nobody keep up with Coach Wall.
Like a kid.
That's Paul.
He knew what planet he's on.
And the members of all leagues and names have been called. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Amen. I think about that 71 season and the 72 season that followed that. I wasn't here in 72, but I kept up with the team in 72. Coach Johnson's here from that team, and I appreciate him being here, and several of the players are here from the 72 team. When I think about the 71 team, I start off thinking about the fact that the year before in 1970 had been a tough year for Oklahoma football. After the defeat by Jones, most all the team quit. And they had several members of the team that stayed and got the rest out of going and out of the band. So in 71, you didn't have much in the way of sophomores coming back. Now the ones that were coming back were great leaders. I never will forget when the bus going down there, Johnny Ruth, who was our manager, he was quite a guy. We should mention his name a while ago too. I wasn't noticed deceased. He was a really good person. Johnny Ruth told me, he said, Coach, said, I done took 2 naps. We ain't got down there yet. I'm worried down to that. And they only won that game by 28-21, and they won the national championship. And that was 2 weeks after everybody first come in. So there were a lot of growing pains in those first few ball games before people gelled as a team. There was a really tough game down at East Central, down in Decatur. We should never have gotten on the bus going. It was played a hurricane that hit the coast that day. And it was just a monsoon down there that night. And people were getting hurt. Larry Dan, there he is. He was in the hospital after about the first quarter listening to the game on the radio. And he was a starting quarterback.
That's one, Coach, wasn't it, when Willis punted and the ball went behind him?
Went behind him. That's right. That's good memory.
On the football, he flowed off the field.
Yeah, that's right. So this is exactly through the first 5 ball games to show you how oftentimes it takes a team to really get together to gel. And a lot of hard work that y'all all put in. Through those first 5 ball games, the team was averaging scoring just over 16 points a game, but was giving up 36 points a game. So the record after 5 games was 1-3-1. But then it all came together. It was based on perseverance, preparation. That's all part of it, preparation and perseverance. It's a good lesson for life, through football or through the life you live and work you do. Get yourself prepared and persevere and don't give up. And so the next time when it has been so easy to give up, we go up and play Northeast. And I remember when we went on the field that night, Coach Miller said just go on there and don't have any hooping and hollering or anything, just act like you're really down. Well, that's the way we went on the field. At the end of the game, y'all was 74, and Northeast was 22. FG kicked 10 out of 10 extra points. And that was a real turning point for that team. That night, Larry Dan accounted for over 500 yards of offense. There were tremendous plays. Dr. Woody would remember this if he were here today. Dr. Woody and Ronnie Wilson would remember this. They both got safeties in that game. That's where it went from 70 to 74 points. And that was an important football game that helped turn things flat. And then the next week you come back here on this field here, you beat Hines 41-16 on this field. I remember a friend of mine who was from Jackson telling me before that game, he come up with the team and he told me before the game, he said, we're going to beat y'all bad. I said, I've seen them play, they're really good, really good. And I said, well, you're slick out there. So at the end of the game, the scoreboard was 41, they won by Hines 16. That's the game that Jackie Strange ran football as an offensive tackle. We had put in a play where Larry starts down like he's running the option. Jackie reverses out in order to technically comply with the rules. And Larry hands the ball off to him and he cuts across the line between guard and center and trots along several yards. Sherwood Graham, who coached the football there at Hines coach at the time, comes running out and says, you can't do that, illegal play, illegal play. And the referee says, it looked good to me. I talked to the referee before the game and told him we were going to run that play. And that was a good memory there from Jackie's standpoint, the team's standpoint, 41-16. Then you go down and you beat Holmes, 35-0. Great game down at home. The defense shuts Holmes down. And then we play with East Mississippi. East Mississippi never will forget how real down in the real campus. Walking up to the field house. My skin was just tingling because I wanted to win that game so much. That East Mississippi tradition. Homecoming crowd, standing room only, when we come on the field. At the end of the game, the scoreboard said, they're 1-45, East Mississippi 6. They beat East Mississippi, a team that they've been running over a lot, and they'll be in 41-6. And it was a joint effort, defense and offense that made that happen. And one of the key plays on that ball game was FG Wilder's field goal, which was a 52-yard field goal. It could have been easily 62 yards. One of the biggest field goals I've ever seen. End over end, went over the old concrete wall here, bounced and took one bounce into a house that used to sit right across there. That record stood as a record for a long, long time. I don't know how long, but it's 20 or 25 years right there, something like that.
Mine wanted to come along. FG had a great career at Delta State. Now he's got a grandson that's kicking the high school. First ball game, he hit 5 out of 5 kick soccer stuff. I said FG, hey, what do you do? He said, just carry on the family tradition. So he'll be kicking one of the big some of those parties. Those are great memories, great times. Winning dudes is fun. Football is fun. Work hard. Sweat. Practice sessions you have, they're all really good sessions. But when you get to the end of the day, you get to the end of the result, you crawl off the field, maybe tired, worn out, look up and won. Not only won, but you won by big scores. Because the offense scored and the defense kept the score down. And in those last, it's just a feeling that you can't really describe, no matter how tired you may feel when you come off the field. The last 5 ball games, instead of averaging 16 points a game scoring and giving up 35, it was reversed. And the offense averaged 43.5 points a game, and the defense only gave up 16 during the last 5 games. So it's a joint effort. That team, when you look back at it, one reason I say proud of all of y'all and what you've done and what you've done, really like you said it in and accomplished in your life. I'd like to think that the lessons you learned about preparation, about perseverance, about getting the job done, not quick. It's
been so easy for Larry Gann this year. And he got knocked out and laying up in the hospital. And when he played the Northeast ball game, and Coach Miller had designed to run him and go around him because he had cracked ribs. Played the game with cracked ribs and carried over 500 yards of offense. When you look back at things like this, you look back at how there are many fellows today that still remembers the hits that Perry Gann put on, and Jim Riley put on, and Ronnie Riley put on, Bill Journey. Bill Journey led the team that year in tackle and assist. And Jeff Houston, 5 interceptions. Mike Ivey had an interception. There was going with every team member an important role in all of the players. And I'm so proud of you. I was proud of you then. 50 years later, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of Renee and the cheerleaders that sustained us and gave us the energy to keep going through really tough times. And you walked off the field at the end of that season, you were winning. And you could say that you were part of a team that broke and set not only IJC records, but 7 junior college records as they existed at that time. I don't know whether that's how many of those still exist, but you said you have 7 records that you set during that time. A team of freshmen that came together and got the job done. So I'm really...
Let me interrupt you right quick. We want you to know too how much all of us think of you and for your leadership and stuff that you helped us with, and I think it made a big contribution to all of us.
But you know, I didn't throw a single pass.
I know.
Larry Gann threw the pass. I didn't catch a single pass. Chuck Davis and others caught it. I didn't throw a single pass like John David did in the Northeast game when the ball was on the 46-yard line at the end of the game, and I sent the play in to take the lead, John Davis, take the lead. And I look up and John Davis running back like this, and here's John Willis like a steer flying down there. And John Davis throws a pass and he made Johnny Unitas or Joe Landers look like a kindergarten person. Willis catches that ball, scores a touchdown.
Everybody knew Willis was a deer.
Yeah, he was a deer. But I didn't throw that pass. John David threw that pass. I sent the play in to take a lead. But I'm glad he threw the pass. I say all that to say that I didn't make a single tackle. I didn't make a single block like Forrest Suggs did many times. I didn't do any of those things. But I was honored and privileged to be part of that team. And of all the things I've ever been through in my life, and I've been through a lot of different things, a lot of different scenarios, but there's nothing, I mean nothing that even comes close to me to the relationship that we built during that time. All of us together, starting out as freshmen and get to the point where we were able to progress to by the end of that year. I want to say thank you and a great appreciation to all of you for that experience that you allowed me to have with you. I was hoping that the 72 season would build on that. And with some tough breaks, I suppose, stop that. But, you know, Nelawamba in this country picked to win the conference that next year. But there's always, sometimes expectations don't get rid of them. That was a great year in 71. There's nothing like winning. There's nothing like winning with style. When you win big, and you win with style. And I remember, and I want to thank Michael up today. Y'all all may remember, and then I'll be quiet. Y'all all may remember when we came on the field against East Mississippi. We came through the old concrete wall down here. And there was a band director named J.O. Waring. Y'all may remember him. And he had a band, and there was a song real popular at the time called The Horse. It was played at all the high school football games, college games, State played it, Ole Miss played it, Alabama played it. It was real upbeat, and the cheerleaders had a little dance routine they did too. And I remember asking Prof. Wares to call him before the game 2 or 3 days before. So Prof, when we come out on the field Saturday night, I I'd appreciate if you would have the band just start playing the horn. Play it continuously, over and over and over, till I signal you to stop. And the reason for that is that was a song that was real lively and it got the crowd up and really moved. And I remember standing out here, we warmed up on that end of the field. And I remember standing out there and looking up at the corner of my eye, and there was Crossware with a cigarette, which is good back those days, hanging out the corner of his mouth, and his guitar, I guess that's what you call it, he's holding in his hand, directing the band in that song, and playing it over and over and over, and Delay and the cheerleaders just getting the crowd building up, building up, building up. And it was electrifying. And we started off the first two plays of the game with two call plays and managers. East Mississippi line waved the offensive line, our offensive line, a little bit. And so we had to do something to slow down that kind of rush. We called screen passes without a huddle, one to the right, one to the left. Well, everybody's like me, so tense. Both ends, Chuck, I think you're going to drop the ball. When Donnie King, Danny Colby's hurt, Little was something wrong with Little that night. And we couldn't do anything. So left G came along and took that 52-yard field. He took that 52-yard field goal. The team just rose up. The men started playing better. They shut down East Mississippi on a 6-point score to East Mississippi. And Tebow Davis ran back the point 65 yards, broke numerous tackles along the way. When that all happened, it turned it in. And where we were known as a team that started out national, that time used to come out there through 19 games. We ran 38 balls on the ground rushing. So those kind of things showed to me that the maturity of y'all as a team, both defensively and offensively. I've rattled so long that I can't even remember what I said 5 minutes ago. I'd like for some of y'all, Neil, you might start it off, just kind of tell us some of the memories you have of this field right here. The 71 season or some of you 72?
Well, I'll tell you what, let's give Coach a hand. I think he does. When he said good events, I won't tell about any of the horror stories. One thing I do want to mention, I think it's special that all of us guys can still call each other after 50 years. We all each got different phone numbers. We can all talk. Just over a matter of a couple of hours, we can be in touch with everybody. Now, all of us has done different things in life. Where it be where you played football in high school, where it be what your career was, millions of dollars you might have made, but I'm going to tell y'all what, this right here, the 2 years I was over here, the best. I got military friends and everything, but let me tell you, the 2 years I was over here, I love every one of you guys. Do anything for you. And I can turn around and make a phone call to any of y'all, and most of us will be there to help the others. So to me, the season was great at different times, but to me, the memories and the connection we got now, you can't beat that. And we'll carry that to a grave. So that's all I want to say to all of you guys. That was over Northwest, wasn't it? Yeah. It was Booker too. You and Dudley told us. Damn, Doc, this TD book too ain't shit. Well, you know, that part of the game, we went in there, he didn't know it. We didn't run. Went back to buy too. He never. That's what you said, Drew. But really, I don't think there's many teams anywhere that's going to be connected like this one. Hands down, I really don't. But to me, that's the most favorite thing ever. Somebody else to talk, have stories or whatever.
Well, this game, if you remember certain things from the game, speak up.
Well, let's
got one right here.
I like the
get this pole.
That season was what Bill Riley just said, the connection
I think we might learn more playing football here than that one we did in business law class at Ole Miss or wherever we went. But the thing I'm real thankful for is Coach Childs, what he meant to the team, and the sophomores, Bud Gardner, Larry Gann, and FG, and John Willis, and the one and only Paul, who was not mentioned here today very much, but I'd like to pay some tribute to him. He was a big part of that team, and I wanted everybody to amen that if they would, because I thought it was.
Well, I learned real quick that one thing you didn't want to do is you didn't want to stand next to Dudley on the sideline. I was standing next to him and somebody broke something wrong and he comes through and Dudley shows me how to tackle him. So I'm like, and by that time everybody else got there and I just got up and stepped back off the field and we never got called. And then against the Northwest game, I was an offensive lineman. I was standing next to Dudley, and somebody got blocked, and they made a play. He grabbed me by the shoulder and said, "Go in for it." And I wind up lining up as defensive tackle at 170 pounds. But on the good side of that is somebody got to the quarterback about the time the ball did when he was trying to hand it off, and it was laying right there in front of me, and I recovered it. But there's just memories like that that mean a lot. But like Mim says, I think about you guys a lot and wonder what happened and where you went and what happened to it. But it means a lot just being here today and being able to fellowship with you guys. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't recognize half of it. If I hadn't seen Bill about 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't recognize him today either. But I love y'all and enjoyed it more than you ever know. And Coach, you meant the world to me.
Coach, you never discouraged us. Well, you never discouraged us. When we were losing, you said, keep on going. Y'all didn't quit. Y'all stayed with it. Y'all stayed with it. It's been awfully easy to quit. Yeah, it's been awfully easy. Good, just good. It's been awfully easy to just say the heck with it. But you did. And I think that's a good life lesson. That you stay with something, you get yourself prepared, you persevere, you don't quit, you don't give up. And when you win, you win. And if you quit, you never win. But if you stay with it, you win. I know some of the others got one. Dan, I know he's got one.
Big part of it is just the reason that we're here today. Us four, I wouldn't want to relive a whole lot of that previous season, but on the other hand, we might not have gone to the spread offense if it hadn't been the year before. And you win 2 games in this league with 15 players. Kind of showed we were on to something. But people ask me all the time, what y'all do? I said, in 1971, we were no huddle, 4 wide, sometimes 5 wide. And I said, we were just way ahead of our time, but that's how we managed to play. And everybody played a role that season. I mean, everybody on the team. Because practice a lot of times, you remember, was much tougher than the game. Especially if Coach Miller said go to the game, that generally wasn't a good sign. And just like you're talking about standing close to Coach Miller, the late Rex Mass put me onto that when I was a freshman. He said, just don't be close because it may not be you, but if you're handy, it will be you. And I saw that firsthand, so I managed to keep my distance. But Coach Childs' input to us being recognized as a team probably wouldn't have happened if he hadn't been there. Back then, people just didn't put much stock in whether you had a good team or a bad team. They knew you had a good team, but wasn't very much publicity about it. And he helped change that, and helped develop, I thought, a sense of pride of us going out to entertain people on game night. And I'm just proud to be a part of a team that was that close, that stayed in touch. Like Mim said, one phone call and somebody's coming. And I know a lot of teams that I've been a part of and coached for 40 plus years. Can't say the same thing. They were a team when they were a team, but when they stopped being a team, they all went their separate ways, and that would leave me one or two stay in contact, others didn't. But I'm proud to be a part of it, and got some great memories on it. The sad thing about it is we could probably make $1 with some of those game films on how to run the 4 wide that I think went down the hillside when the dorm got pushed down to the bottom. But I'm glad to see some of you guys, and I'd have stayed 4 years over here if they'd let me. And of course we didn't have a lot to do back then that we could tell about. But I'm glad to see you guys. I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Coach.
Can I say something? I don't know many of y'all, but I have heard stories.
Lies.
And when he says that he is proud to be a part, that's all he can talk about, because he loved it that much.
Well, we're real proud
He's
of him.
gonna be my husband soon, so I'm that proud that he's gonna be my husband. And the impact that this made on his life is tremendous.
We're real proud of him. Larry, some of you may not know, Larry was the first person from Etowanda Junior or Community College inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, Junior College Sports Hall of Fame, back in 1991.
All y'all had more to do with
Something
that than I
else
did.
that's unique to this team. I don't know of any other team, and I've tried to look back at the record, that has 3 members of that team in the Etowanda Community College Hall of Fame. We have 3 off of this team, Timo, FG, and Larry, and others that are deserving now. But we have 3 members of that team that's on there. When you mentioned about the spread offense, Larry, I don't know if you're aware of this or any other team members are aware of this. In 1970, which was my first year here, and it started off nice year. I was coaching the defense, coaching the defensive high coach. And after the Jones game, we came back, got and beat a couple of touchdowns. Coach Miller called a Sunday morning practice, which is going to be a bloodletting, is just on the short of it. And I was going down in my car because the bus wouldn't hold everybody, me and Chrissy up. Got home about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Mary Miller called me and said, "Get up here quick, everybody's leaving the door." And when I got up there, they did. And we ended up with 7 boys that came back. Larry said the rest came above was on that team. We came back with band members and some out of the band. Ronnie King is not here today. He came out of the band and played. Now, thirdly, that following Monday, I was sitting in the old cafeteria eating lunch. Dudley walks up and he tells me, said, "Coach, I'm fixing to go see Mr. Crewball as soon as we eat and resign as head football coach." And I said, "Coach Miller, you don't need to do that. We can get into passing type offense, we can get into a version of the old TCU spread that I had a little familiarity with." And that's what we did. And he changed his mind there at the table and we left it. Larry, did you know that? Did I ever tell you that?
No, but I wish it had happened before we play Northwest.
That's how it actually happened. And so we ended up beating Holmes that year. I don't know how, but we did. And then the next year, he made me offensive coordinator, and he and Coach Wall coached the defense. That's when we really fine-tuned what our version of the spread offense. And as Larry said, we ran a real multiple offense. We had running and passing all mixed together. Anybody else got?
Miss your point.
4 o'clock, okay. Where is,
I just want to say one thing.
Okay, now we're still going. I just want to, I don't want to get him shot.
Secretary, I heard a lot of things that I needed to forget. But one time I remember some of y'all said, "Go time to have." And I hit him. Yes. And I hit him. And when he found it, he stopped and he looked at me and said,
well, you're lucky he didn't say it no more than that.
Tonight we are excited to welcome back to ICC members of the 1971 football team, along with the cheerleading squad for their 50th anniversary reunion. The 1971 IJC team, which was composed of 40 freshmen and only 5 sophomores, was coached by Dudley Miller, Tom Childs, and Doc Wall. This team had IJC's first winning season since 1966, and it tied for the league lead in scoring and finished with an overall record of 5-4-1. The highlight was a record-setting 74-22 victory over rival Northeast Mississippi Junior College Tigers at Boonville. Quarterback Larry Gann broke 7 state records in passing. F.G. Weigel was chosen All-State defensive halfback and kicked a record-setting 52-yard field goal in the homecoming victory over East Mississippi. Gann, along with John Willis, Jerry Pickle, and Kebo Davis, were honorable mention All-State players, and Gann, Weigel, and Bud Gardner played in the All-State Classic game in Tupelo. Welcome home, 1971 IJC football team and cheerleaders.
Might be a little while before I get to the bank.
That's an incomplete pass. Let's give it a Renaissance replay. Renaissance Mobile Check Deposit. Make the right call and open an account with Renaissance today.